Welcome to ADCO Aviation. On the 25th video, I finished up the folding tail. Just like the last video, I'm still in the middle of building the in-law cabin, so my garage is still full of those supplies, so I can't dig out my wings just yet. And I have to finish measuring and guessing what hardware I need to place that order, so I can't even start to rig it yet. So today's update isn't so much on anything I've completed, but more about planning. Folding wings brings several issues to light that many don't even think about. The original fuel tank / wing, for instance, is designed to be flat, not vertical, as it will be when we fold our wings back. Besides, our wing holder would have to hold up the weight of the fuel as well as the wing. So my original idea was to put the tank up front, as many have successfully done before. I know this has to mess with the CG that was originally designed by Leonard, but also we'll have to add weight for a fuel pump as well. As most of you know, I've tried to eliminate as much as possible by making dual use of some parts, for example, and minimizing the dash, for example. Next, I considered using a fiberglass seat / fuel tank like I've had on my gyroplanes, but the ones you buy are extremely heavy, and again, you'd have to add a fuel pump too. Besides that, I really like the 10-ounce seat I created to maintain that Legal Eagle look, but was able to cut weight considerably from the original. If you haven't seen that video, you ought to check it out. I believe it was around the 15th video. Anyways, so here's my plan to save even more weight while keeping it as pure to the Legal Eagle as possible. Having the fuel gravity fed, making it easier for teardown and setup, and all without any major modifications to the airframe. I want the tank to sit on top of the wing mounting brackets. Some of you have already noticed my brackets are slightly different, but we'll get to that in a minute. I made a cardboard cutout of the wing profile. With a straight edge, I drew where the bottom of the tank will be. Next, I drew out the 1-inch square grid that you see. Why, you asked? Well, what do we know? It takes 231 cubic inches per gallon of gas, or for a 5-gallon tank, we'll need 1,155 cubic inches inside that tank. If I stop the tank at the front wing support bracket, that removes about 17 square inches, leaving 173 square inches of usable tank area, which means I'd have to make my tank 6.67 inches wide for 5 gallons. If someone wanted to make the tank all the way to the nose, and I might, their tank could be as narrow as 6 inches. Of course, the top of the tank will also replace the wing filler gap, so I may gain another ½ inch or so of height there. That's approximately 21 bonus square inches. We'll wait and see once the wings are attached. I'm not 100% sure what exactly I plan to do. I've been thinking I want a slight sump at least in the rear and possibly one up front. Been thinking of putting a sight tube in the nose or maybe off to one side. We'll just have to wait and see what I can see the best from the cockpit with the wings on. With these numbers, I believe one could make a center tank as Leonard designed the frame. I had sketched out some options. Keep in mind the strut fittings stick out 2 inches on each side, so you'd have 6.5 inches between the wing ribs, at least at the bottom, slightly less at the top. But rather than making it a tight fit, don't forget we have to unbolt the 4 mounting bolts every teardown cycle. I chose to make my brackets an extra 5.5 inches longer for a total of 8 inches between the mounting bolts. This seems to be the smallest and lightest mod to achieve what I wanted. If this doesn't work out, I could easily add 4 more new 3/8 bushing stock for the bolt holes and cut it off at its original length. But this way, I lose no headroom and won't have to take on and off the gap filler every time I fold the wings. I hope this makes sense. Lately, there has been some discussion about folding wings and the fuel tank issues as well on the Facebook group. So I thought I'd share my thinking and let y'all shoot holes in it before I start the build. As always, I hope you have enjoyed this video and hopefully found some of the info helpful for your build. And if you're on the fence about starting a Legal Eagle build, hopefully I've shown you just how easy it can be. If you like these videos, please like and subscribe to my YouTube, Odyssey, or Rumble channel. Thank you, and be safe.